Hi everybody. Today's motivational quote of the week is from Richard Wagner. Wagner was a German composer. He lived in the 1800s and was also a conductor. And he says, "Imagination creates reality." Now I love this quote. When you think about the way you want something to be, that's using your imagination. If you want your music to sound better, think about the way you want your music to sound. Have a very clear picture in your mind what you want your music to sound like. If you're working on a solo for solo and ensemble, or you're working on etudes for a contest, how do you want that to sound? Now you can help your imagination out a little bit, and you can ask yourself questions like, pick your favorite trumpet player, and how would he or she play this piece of music? You're using your imagination. And then as you're practicing, you get as close to that mark as you possibly can, and you're creating that reality. Imagine the way you want to sound. Pick your favorite jazz musician and ask yourself, how would they solo here? What would they do with this song? And you're using your imagination. Sometimes it's easier to think, how would your favorite trumpet player, how would they play this, rather than how do I want to play it? Because sometimes you don't know what's possible on a trumpet. And so you can kickstart your imagination by checking out other artists and ask yourself how they would play a certain passage or how they would play a solo. But you're still using your imagination. When you try to play like that. And the more you do it, you create that reality from your imagination. And the closer you get to the mark, the more realistic your imaginings become. Now, just like everything else, using your imagination takes practice. I use my imagination in a very practical way when it comes to jazz soloing. When I'm thinking about what I want to play for a solo, and I'm being creative, I start very generally, okay? I'm listening to the chord changes, and I'm thinking, I might want to play high here. I might want to play fast in this section. I might have a very vague idea of what I want, but even if it's vague, you're still using your imagination. If you want to play through a section fast, how fast? Are you playing 16th notes? Are you playing 8th notes? Are you playing 32nd notes? How fast is the song? And so now we're narrowing it. It was vague, it's getting a little bit clearer. You decided to play 16th notes. What scale are you going to choose? What do you want it to sound like? You have all these sounds at your disposal. You can use your diminished scale, your whole tone scale, your major scale, your minor scale. You have 12 notes you can pick from. And you're taking this vague concept. I want to play fast. I'm going to be playing 16th notes. I'm going to use the altered scale. All of a sudden, your imagination is getting clear. It's getting more vivid. And then as the idea gets clearer and clearer, it gets closer to reality. And then, of course, you have to practice it, right? Just thinking about it doesn't make it happen. Thinking about it, using your imagination, is one thing. Practically apply it. So you're working on your 16th note altered scale idea, and then you practice it until you have it on your trumpet. You can play it in your sleep. Now you've made it a reality. It started out as imagination, but the clearer and the more vivid it becomes, and as you apply it, as you do it, it crystallizes and it becomes reality. So that's what I do when I'm working on a solo. When I'm playing a classical solo or I'm playing an etude, to make it better, I think, how can I make this more musical? How can I be more expressive? And I'm imagining. And I jumpstart my imagination with what if. I say, what if I get louder here? What if I play this softer? What if I crescendo? What if I decrescendo? What if I add vibrato? What if I don't add vibrato? What if I play it straight? What if I speed up or slow down? And all of a sudden, your what if questions jumpstart your imagination and you're picturing these things in your mind. And then every time you picture it, play it on your trumpet. And that makes whatever you're thinking about real. That's how you practically make your thoughts become reality. By practicing the things that you think. But again, imagination takes practice. And you're only going to be able to do it if you practice this, just like everything else. It's not an easy process. but the reward is a lot better than doing nothing. All right. Thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Okay? Now think a little bit broader. It doesn't have to be a piece of music. What kind of trumpet player do you want to be? What kind of trumpet player do you want to be? If you want to be a jazz soloist,